Hi, I'm Steve Barlow. This is the Humanised Workforce Future You podcast video, where we're talking about perceptions of the future, issues that we need to be aware of, and their role in a rapidly changing work and life environment.
Hi, I'm Craig Saffin. The Humanised Workforce Future You podcast series is focused on the key factors evolving to create a more humanised workforce and how people from all walks of life are creating their future selves. And here we go.
Welcome to the Humanised Workforce Future You podcast. I'm Steve Barlow. As always, I'm joined by Craig Saffin. How are you today, Craig?
I'm cold, Steve. It's cold in Sydney today, cold and windy.
Okay. You should be on the Gold Coast, mate. We're joined today by Ivan Kaye, who's also joining us from Sydney. So welcome, Ivan.
Thanks, Steve.
You want to tell us a little bit about yourself, Ivan, who you are and what you do?
Sure. My name's Ivan Kaye. I'm the founder of a business called BSI. And on the back of that, we've acquired a number of businesses over the years. And I'm an opportunistic dude by nature. And my skills are like in the disc profile, I'm a like off the charts D. So attention to detail is not great. However, I think I'm a bit of a visionary. And for me to succeed, I just have to have good people around me. And I'm privileged to have Craig as one of my people around me, which is great.
That's very kind of you to say, Ivan, and very nice lead in. But one thing that concerned me there is you said you're not good with detail, but I know actually one piece you left out is that you're an accountant by trade. So that's probably...
It's like sort of contradiction in terms, isn't it?
Yes, it is a contradiction, yeah. So Ivan, thanks for joining today. And the reason I brought you on is the topic we want to discuss today is strategy in the context of a humanised workforce. So business has been evolving, and the way business is done now, especially as we start to come out of the pandemic, fingers crossed, is how strategy should be done and how we should be evaluating our markets. And we've learned that from various experts around the world that our customers and our markets have changed since before the pandemic, a lot more different work environments and things like that. So what I'd like to ask you at a high level, just to kick things off, is how do you think approach to strategy and business strategy has changed in the last couple of years?
It's a very interesting question, but like the thing that just pops into mind is the way work is done and the way people go to work has completely changed. We're now living in a distributed workforce where people don't come to the office, and there's a blend between working from home and working from the office. And there needs to be a way in which people can still connect and collaborate and communicate. And ideally on a face-to-face basis. Zoom is great. I mean, Craig, we've been talking to each other for years. I've maybe seen you 2 or 3 times face-to-face, but but I know you. We've discussed, we've talked, we've communicated on a regular basis. And I think one of the key things in respect of working in a distributed workforce is continuity. And the ability to lead. Even if you're not a leader, you have the ability to lead because you are the center of your universe, and every employee is the center of his or her universe. And everyone has their own agenda, and everyone has their own values and their own vision. So for strategy to work in a distributed workforce, I see one of the things which is very hard to do, but one needs to do, is you need to make sure that the people, your stakeholders, have the same values as you. And you need to get your stakeholders to buy into your vision.
Right. So it's very interesting. You should start with the people, because I know this is actually one of your hot buttons as well, and the people being the most important thing when you approach a company to acquire it and to grow it. I know I've had this discussion with you in the past, so I'm not surprised you started with this. But what do you like? The ASX 100 companies in Australia have been in a real hurry to get their people back to the office so they could move back into the command and control type of management structure, whereas the smaller and nimble companies have just adjusted totally how they're going to approach strategy and business. But let's start with the point that you're talking about, and that is that people are leaving companies. And in the last few weeks, we've interviewed some business consultants who talked about, that people leave leaders and people and all that sort of stuff. What you're introducing is not only the leadership piece, but the values. Can you talk about retention and how you get people engaged in and aligned with the strategy?
Mm-hmm. When people leave, people say they're leaving for money, or they're leaving for I've got a better opportunity. But whoever spoke before on your podcasts, people leave managers and people leave leaders.
Right. And
people leave because their values and their vision isn't aligned. They probably came into your business because they saw that your values and your vision sort of they could actually achieve what they wanted to achieve using coming into your environment. Now, people leave all the time, and there was an article, I think by can't remember her, Heather McGowan, who talks about the future of work. You should speak with her.
Yeah,
she's outstanding, and she actually said that the generation X, Ys, and Zs, they're going to have 27 jobs over the course of their lives.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because they are doing it because they can. Just like the internet has created an ability for every person to be a journalist, and social media is every person can be a journalist. Every employee is effectively a leader in their own right.
Right.
And the company that's going to survive will need to know that, and for them to actually recruit, retain, and retrain their people in their workforce and get them to stay, they will need to give the employees what they want.
Right.
They are the customers. They are in fact, more important as the customer.
What do you think it is what they want? Because you already said it's not money really. What really is it?
I think it's what do they want? They want. I think education is a big thing.
Yeah, I agree.
The employee is going to be a lifelong learner.
Professional development and so on.
Professional development. How they going to advance their career, and what are they going to learn from their experience with you?
Right.
And maybe when they come in, they say, this is my 2 or 3 year experience.
Yeah, right.
And by the time I leave, I'll effectively get a degree in BSI or in marketing or whatever, because that's what I'm going to learn. And my salary level for that job is pretty much between 60 to 90,000. Yeah. But by the time they finish, they're actually worth $170,000 in the marketplace. Right. Yeah. Yep. But I don't need a $170,000 person. I need a $60,000 to $90,000 person, because I have the ability to train and retain them for a period of time.
What about tying them into what you're trying to achieve from a strategic journey?
I think it's very important. So it depends on who you want to tie in.
I think not tie in financially, but actually
to stay in the business. I think a lot of companies don't expect most of their staff to stay. I'm just thinking of the big five, the bigger four accounting firms. Yeah. At the end of the day, for every 100 people, they'd want to have 1 or 2 people stay 10 years.
Right.
Because they can only, there's a limited number of people you can actually have as partners.
It's not about partners so much as about what talent development and how
exactly.
Yeah, and how exciting the different roles you can generate. It's
so you're talking about vision and values. So what is our vision? So how do you make your vision stand out? How do you engage? How do you enthuse How do you inspire people to come and work with you?
Okay.
If, for example, you have a general manager or a managing director who's just focused on numbers and making sure that the budgets at the end of the month meet, and have you done what you have to do, without actually sharing the vision, the people aren't going to stay.
Yeah.
Or the people that will stay will be the people that need a job.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be the people that actually have their vision. How will their vision and how will their values match with yours? So talking about our vision and values. So what's the vision of BSI? We help you create your generational legacy.
Yeah. And
it can actually work with your team. They will come to us because we will help them recruit. We will help them learn, collaborate, and grow. Okay. And my objective as a CEO of my business is to make sure my customer is my staff, is my team. Right. Their customers are the clients.
Are the external ones, yeah. Okay, so that's a great segue, and thank you. So let's move out then, and in the humanised workforce, this new environment where you're talking about, you've talked about it from the staffing perspective. What do you think gets different now about the customers, and what are their different needs now, and how your team that you just described there, and you as a CEO, how do we service those people most effectively?
Great question as well. The companies that are going to survive will actually spend most of their planning time in actually working out who their client is. Step number one is, who is your client? What is their avatar? How old are they? Yeah. Are they married? Are they a corporate? Are they an organization? Are they an individual? Is it a lifelong learner? Who's your customer? Now, if you say my customer is everybody, and you then try market everybody onto Google AdWords, you'll be paying millions and millions of dollars. But if you can actually target your customer to say, my customer is a 45-year-old, is between 40 to 50, they're in HR, they work for recruiting firms within 10 or 15 kilometers around Sydney. Yeah. And they specialize in pharmaceutical companies.
That's a very tight definition, isn't it?
You then actually can say, you can go to LinkedIn, and you can say, who are these people?
Who are these people, yeah.
And you might actually come with 1,000 or 2,000 people. And anyone can do this on LinkedIn. Yeah. Okay. Now the question is you've now got these people, that's your world. You've got those 1,000 people. How are you going to engage with them? Now, if you go and sell them your service, whatever it might be, let's say it's financial planning, and you go to them and say, can I actually sell you a financial plan? What they're going to do, Steve?
I'll probably say no.
No, they're going to say, who the hell are you? And just put down the phone.
Yeah, right.
But what if you actually did the research and said, Steve Barlow is an expert in the humanised workforce, talking about the future of work. He's a published author of 100, who's got 1 million people who bought his book. He's going to speak, and I would like to invite you for lunch as my guest to hear what he had to say.
So it's a personalized engagement that offers them something, right?
And if you message them to come for that lunch, because I've seen who you are, based on that, I believe that you might be interested in this. Yep. You've got someone who you've heard of coming to speak. Of those 1,000 people that you've messaged, how many of them will actually message you back? Do you think some of them might say, tell me more?
Thanks for watching this video on Humanised Workforce Future You. Please leave a rating or review for the series on the medium where you source your videos.
The transcripts for today's video can be found on craigsaffin.com. Please subscribe to the series to avoid missing out on future episodes.